So here we have the Manfrotto Nitrotech N8 tripod head. Now that sounds super fancy, but basically all you need to know is it uses a nitrogen piston system to allow you to get really smooth pan and tilt motions for your video. It has a standard Manfrotto base plate, but they've updated the clip system, so now all you've got to do, plonk it on top and it clips nicely into place, which is really handy. One thing that's worth mentioning is that you do have to actually pre-balance this head before you can go ahead and use it. Now I've gone ahead and used some Studio Magic here and pre-balanced it anyway, and you'll know when it's pre-balanced or correctly balanced because you should be able to tilt it in any direction and the camera stays in place. If you've not got it properly balanced, then as soon as you tilt it forward or backwards, it will either ping out of place or go too far forward or too far backwards. So you will need to spend a little bit of time getting that set up for your camera and lens setup, and you do that by adjusting this knob here. Now it's a pretty robust head. It can handle weights up to 8 kilograms, so you can use heavier cameras and lens setups like the C100 we've got set up on it right now, or you can also use lighter cameras such as CSCs or even Handycams as well. Although we've currently got it set up on a tripod, it's also worth mentioning that you can also mount this onto most standard monopods, jibs, sliders, anything that will accept standard tripod head mounts. Despite its sort of futuristic look and the piston system, it's actually quite lightweight. I think it weighs in at around about 2 kilograms, so it's not going to break your back lugging it around, which is also a really nice feature. One of our biggest gripes that we've found with this tripod head is that most of the switches, the old adage is lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, yeah? So turn it left to loosen, right to tight up. This tripod has completely ignored that system and does the complete opposite, unfortunately. So using these dials on the side here, you use this one to lock the tilt motion. So rather than left being loose, that's actually tightening it up. So if I move that all the way to the left here, it's actually locked that right in position. That goes the same for this dial here, which actually adjusts how much resistance you've got on the tilt. So again, it's left to tighten rather than left to loosen. The same goes for the fluid drag system, which is down at the bottom here, which adjusts the resistance in the panning motion. So that's right to loosen, left to tighten. But in terms of the actual motion of the head, we can't fault it. It's really silky smooth. It's actually quite pleasing to use at how silky smooth it is. So you can get some really nice cinematic pans and movement with it. One other nice little feature that they've added is a bubble spirit level, and it even has a fancy light. So if you're shooting and the light's particularly bad, but you want to make sure that the tripod head is set up nice and level, you just click this button and it will bring up a nice orange LED light. As we've already briefly talked about, this tripod head uses Manfrotto's standard base plate size, which is really good if you have other Manfrotto brand monopods or tripods and you want to quickly switch from one to the other. In situations such as at a wedding, if you're shooting the ceremony where you may want to switch from your monopod quickly onto a tripod so you're in a fixed position. So in conclusion, it's a really good tripod head if you're looking for silky panning and tilting motions for your videography.